At this time, Namiya Dairy hadn't started consulting on serious life problems yet. All the questions were still those silly kid problems which he posted on the wall, like who asked this question. What was my final answer?
Just some witty jokes and playful teasing. But this teenage boy took it seriously.
After returning home, he hesitantly wrote a letter to Namiya Dairy signed Paul Lennon, clearly using his idol's name. He originally didn't dare tell anyone about his family's plan to flee.
But if Namiya Dairy posted this publicly, wouldn't everyone find out?
Wouldn't this indirectly mean I'm exposing it myself?
But from this moment, Grandpa Namiya started developing the Paul's Dairy concept, changing the rules from this point on. He declared that future consultations should be thrown through the shutter door and replies collected from the milk box at back.
So Mr. Paul Lennon actually became the first serious consultation letter Grandpa Namiya received.
His advice was, you should trust your parents and stay with the family, at least you're all together.
But life didn't follow Grandpa Namiya's advice. Paul Lennon was only in 8th grade, peak rebellious age. When his family fled, he escaped at a rest stop. Though Japan's social welfare system helped him, he refused to reveal his identity and took an alias.
Yes, it was that same Maruka orphanage again. There he grew up and developed wood-carving skills.
He became apprenticed to a wood-carving master, eventually becoming a craftsman himself. He never followed Grandpa Namiya's advice, so he carried lifelong guilt, believing his achievements came solely from his own efforts.
Later, when he learned of Grandpa Namiya's death and went to the dairy, he happened to meet the old man's son.
The son casually mentioned during their conversation that his father had received many thank you letters, including one from a boy with identical experiences who received the same advice.
He never realized it was actually himself. The boy had written a thank you letter claiming to follow Namiya's advice and live happily with his parents. 33 years later, though perplexed, he let it go since Grandpa Namiya had passed.
But in 2012, according to the story's timeline, he saw online that Namiya's great-grandson announced the store would reopen on September the 13th for one day, inviting people to share updates. So he decided to write. Though he wasn't planning to apologize, believing his current success came from defying the advice.
I didn't follow your advice, but look how well I turned out. While waiting in town, he stumbled into a beatless-stamped bar. There he discovered it was opened by his former classmate.
The classmate had passed away during their family's escape. He'd sold all his Beatles records to this friend.
The friend's sister now ran the bar, revealing his parents' fate through her.
They'd committed suicide. They faked the whole family's deaths, including his identity, to protect him. His parents never abandoned him. His runaway forced their hand, overwhelmed with guilt. He struggled to explain to Namiya Dairy.
Ultimately, he wrote, "We lived happily ever after. When my parents passed, they died content." A white lie mirroring the thank you letter he'd heard about years before.
And so this bittersweet story comes full circle.
Chapter 5, Prayers from Heaven. We finally reunite with the thief trio, who've now handled 2 consultations, one from Moon Rabbit, the athlete,
and another from the aspiring musician, Hitki. Initially, they mocked him. "You'll never make it as a musician." But everything changed when they heard that midnight harmonica melody. They were stunned. This song was iconic from their era, a hit written by a superstar to commemorate his brother's savior, yet in Hidkai's timeline, it shouldn't exist yet.
Him playing it proved he, WA's, the inspiration. Their vague advice about persisting till the end suddenly carried profound meaning.
The thieves then remembered their original purpose. They're supposed to be criminals, but after 2 successful consultations,
a third letter arrived, signed Lost Puppy, a 19-year-old orphan girl working dead-end office jobs. Struggling with Japan's societal expectations. Women shouldn't work seriously anyway, just marry well. But she desperately needed money. Her dilemma: continue mediocre office work or become a hostess, even considering being someone's mistress.
the Thieves-turned counselors surprisingly showed moral integrity in their response.
Despite being thieves, their letter naturally contained persuasion.
They advised, "Don't take that dead-end hostess job. How long can you last? You're just trading on your youth. What happens after that?"
You're just eating your youth away. What's your plan when that's gone? Find a proper path. But the girl countered, being an office lady doing odd jobs leads nowhere. What should I do? Watching Lost Puppy teeter toward the abyss, choosing what they saw as a hopeless path.
What could these thieves do? They revealed Japan's economic future, booming pre-1990s, then the bubble burst. Invest in real estate before 1990, then stocks, golf memberships, anything. After that, play it safe.
They ended with, "Don't ask why, leave the rest to fate." Miraculously, it worked.
Lost Puppy became wildly successful. By 2012, she's a renowned female CEO.
The cosmic irony. The thieves were robbing the very woman they'd advised years ago.
The story completes its circle. The once advised girl, now a powerhouse, they're burglarizing.
They stole her country villa, tied her up when she returned unexpectedly, and took her bag containing
not just money, but a thank you letter for Namiya Dairy, actually meant for the thieves.
Reading the letter addressed to their advice, the thieves had a change of heart. They decided to release the CEO and surrender.
Before leaving Namiya Dairy, they checked the milk box, finding a reply letter.
A response Grandpa Namiya wrote 30 years earlier to a blank letter. This blank letter was actually the experimental one the thief trio had submitted. Grandpa Namiya replied, "Those seeking counsel are like lost sheep. They hold maps, but don't look or don't know their position. But I believe you're different.
Your map is blank without landmarks. Even choosing destinations becomes impossible. A blank map frustrates anyone. Total disorientate.
Yet this blankness means freedom. You chart your own course. Infinite possibilities lie before you. What wonderful liberty!"
I pray you'll believe in yourself and live without regrets. This is our heavenly prayer." Readers might forget earlier plot points, needing to flip back or risk confusion. Some readers might need a timeline to follow the complex narrative. But careful reading reveals clear narrative threads. The novel's foreshadowing and callback details are masterfully executed. What seems like narrative digressions actually serve crucial purposes. Beyond the main plot lies hidden connections, forming a subtle secondary narrative. What's this underlying thread? while Namiya Dairy anchors the title and apparent main plot.
The true hidden core is Maruko Orphanage. All characters connect to Maruko Orphanage in surprising ways.
Every petitioner has direct or indirect ties to the orphanage. The thieves themselves are Maruko alumni. Why target the CEO?
They heard. She planned to convert Maruko Orphanage into a hotel.
In reality, the CEO was also a Maruko Orphanage alumnus. She intended to revitalize it after acquisition, as the new director neglected management.
The corrupt deputy director embezzled funds and manipulated students to protest against her, hence the thieves' misguided robbery.
These thieves turned to crime due to Japan's economic downturn and Maruko's declining educational standards. In the second story, the musician Hiki, who died rescuing people from fire, became the inspiration for the hit song Rebirth.
The single mother from the third story had a daughter raised at Maruko. Her counselor later became a famous singer's manager. Paul Lennon from the fourth story developed wood carving skills at Maruko, carving animal figures for classmates, including the future CEO. Her lost puppy alias originated from Lennon's carved dog gift during their orphanage days.
The deepest connection lies between Namiya Dairy and Maruko's founder, M.S. Hizuki, former lovers separated by class differences. M.S. Hizuki came from wealth, while young Namiya was a poor laborer. Their planned elopement failed when her family intercepted them.
She later sent a breakup letter, leading Namiya to start his shop and Hizuki to establish the orphanage, unknowingly creating parallel legacies. But Grandpa Namiya never resented her. 3 years later he wrote, "I found peace. Your parents acted for our good." M.S. Hizuki remained unmarried, devoting herself to Maruko Orphanage. This became the CEO's mission, to preserve M.S. Hizuki's legacy through proper orphanage management. The orphanage's profound connection with Namiya Dairy illustrates the intricate bonds between ordinary people. These interwoven lives form an elaborate web, a testament to the author's mastery in handling complex relationships. Though technically a mystery novel without crimes, its riddles lie in narrative connections rather than wad units.
Each revelation answers previous puzzles while creating new questions, driving readers to finish in one sitting. The thieves' paradox shines brightest. Criminals sincerely counseling others through letters.
Though troubled themselves, they earnestly advise petitioners. This irony reveals our shared humanity. Neither professional counselors nor wise sages, just ordinary people offering heartfelt suggestions. Their advice worked through genuine empathy rather than expertise, a mirror to real-life problem-solving. Like us all, they had worries but still helped others. This makes the story profoundly relatable. We all wish for our own Namiya Dairy to consult. Who should we turn to with our troubles? Professional counselors. Their professional advice might help, but that's not how we usually operate. We typically confide in family and friends. Our personal Namiya Dairy. Do we truly seek solutions when asking loved ones, or just validation for decisions we've already made? Sometimes we need that final push or reality check from others.
Yet certain troubles feel too private for familiar ears. Strangers' anonymity can be liberating.
In this sense, Keigo Higashino becomes our modern Grandpa Namiya through this novel. Like many creators, I receive personal queries ranging from career advice to heartbreak in my DMs. When possible, I respond sincerely, though knowing my words might bear limited power. Higashino understands this dynamic perfectly. He can't personally answer every reader's letter. So he crafted this novel as his collective reply to universal human anxieties. As Grandpa Namiya's final letter reveals, most petitioners already hold their maps. They just need orientation. For those with blank slates, possibilities multiply endlessly. Ultimately, fate lies in our own hands. What can others' advice truly offer? Perhaps only warmth and companionship along the journey. There's so much more to explore about Namiya Dairy and human connections, but we'll pause here today. Though I've shared many details, I strongly recommend reading The Miracles of the Namiya General Store yourself. The Miracles of the Namiya General Store. Its heartfelt details shine brightest when discovered personally, rather than through summaries. That's all for today's program. Until next time.